I regret to inform you, the men are not okay. That's right, folks, the men are not okay. The men have no friends, no girlfriend, no college education, no money, are breaking their legs and inserting metal rods into their bones to be a few inches taller, and listening to AI Batman help them overcome their pornography addictions.
You deserve real love.
Turns out the society that was built by and allegedly for men has indeed let them down. Now you might be thinking, oh look, another boo-hoo poor men video by Shoe0nHead. Yes! According to several different articles, I love how that's my source, I read about it on the internet, research shows that people from individualist countries show a greater sense of loneliness. This is linked to socioeconomic development, increased education, a shift towards white-collar jobs, and urbanization. Japan also has an issue with loneliness. In fact, they have a whole movement of people they call the hikikomori. Did I say that right? I don't care. Basically, postmodern hermits. Mostly young men who completely withdraw from society, secluding themselves in their rooms for months and years at a time. In 2010, there was an estimated 700,000 hikikomori in Japan. And today, it's estimated—
Is there any old shoe lore Destiny used to hate her? She just gives a lot of really basic, like, populist takes on things. That's generally, if I hate people on the internet, it's usually for that, so that's usually what we've never actually directly fought in the past, but...
And because of things like this, people aren't having babies, so Japan's population has been in a sharp decline since 2011. It's gotten so bad that Japan even produces videos of live-action women staring into the camera to help the hikikomori learn to cope with eye contact and reintegrate them back into society.
Jesus
So basically,
Christ.
if you want to know America's future, look no further than Japan. A lot of people, including myself, blame this partially on the rise of social media and technology. RIP to the king. Although technology makes things easier, it can also make us more atomized. Why go to the mall when I can just tap, 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 buy a new microphone, and have it shipped to me in a day? Why hang out with friends when I can get all my social interaction I need from Twitter and streamers? Why go on dates and bother meeting women when I could just tap, 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 Google big boob and get 2 million results? Or see my high school crush's holes on OnlyFans for only $5. Instant dopamine, instant satisfaction, and hey, who even needs a real woman when you could just have an AI girlfriend?
True?
We're so f***ed. Dating apps really are the great Satan, and I'm convinced they've completely broken men's brains. It's safe to say that the commodification of love and the window shopping of dating apps probably has to do a lot with the rise of lonely single men. Men are not just lonely when it—
I don't believe that to be the case at all. If you got rid of all dating apps right now, I don't think anything would change in terms of, like, societal structure. I don't agree with that. What is that opinion based on? It just doesn't make sense. Like, if you get rid of dating apps, are men suddenly gonna, like, just start going to bars? Like, do you think the types of guys that frequent dating apps are like, oh, fuck, no more dating app. All right, I'm gonna go out and be really social. Like, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
And recently, a new study came out about how young men are moving towards the right. And every other month—
That's what they used to have to do, right? No, I'm pretty sure generally when you meet people at work, you meet people at school, you meet people in friend groups. I think that the biggest thing that's probably decreased, that I can at least say empirically is true, is we used to meet people through friends a lot. That used to be I think that used to be the most common way you'd meet people. But now, like, people aren't meeting each other through friends anymore because we're like so insanely online compared to where we used to be. And I don't mean online on dating apps. I mean online on, like, Facebook, Twitter, video games, stuff like that.
We, the liberal, sockdem, leftists, whatever you want to call the space online, performs the same song and dance. What's wrong with men? Why is this happening? Why don't we have a leftist Andrew Tate? We need to push men to the left. Andrew Tate rarely, if ever, talks about politics. Andrew Tate talks about men, and the left only talks about men when they talk about Andrew Tate. A few months ago, during one of the monthly song and dances, some progressive people I follow made the mistake of addressing men's issues, and the even bigger mistake of pointing their finger at their own spaces for not doing enough to address said men's issues.
Recently, there were some statistics by healthcare company Cigna indicating that men are the loneliest generation. And addressing it doesn't mean that you turn your back on issues pertaining to women, but it does mean that we should be focused on what it is in society that is leading to this epidemic, what the left can do to offer solutions, and how we can basically fight back against the more nefarious figures who have filled the void that, you know, men are struggling with, people
Big
like
mistake.
Jordan Peterson and what have you. Now, recently, Vosh, who's a popular streamer, had tweeted this thread that I think is really, really important to address. He writes,
Oh, back when Anna and Vosh were cool, before she saw Vosh call her a retarded bitch.
I cannot stress enough how important it is to understand that 12-year-old white boys on Twitch are not being pulled into fascism because of some Machiavellian desire to preserve and expand their privileges. It's because the right talks to them and the left doesn't.
The responses to these tweets and this content were very normal, level-headed, and respectful. Me when I lie. LMAO, cry about it. Boo f***ing who. Oh no, poor
Oh, good
little
friend Shark
men
Zero.
having problems. Boo f***ing who. Grow the f*** up then. Have men considered being smarter? I'm enjoying all these sad little moids and their sad little tweets about their sad, pathetic lives. Sounds like a
Yes.
personal problem. Is the lack of compassion for men in the room with us right now? Maybe men are just not good people then. I'm so fucking tired of people trying to make male loneliness a huge societal problem. Yeah, no, their fifis are not my responsibility, and I shouldn't have to be punished because
Why do
they-
people censor Twitter names here? Bro, they're posting on social media. Let them fucking own their shit.
Listen up, chuckle. I'm white, socially awkward, autistic, in my 40s, ugly, overweight, crippled, got a weird balding pattern, and have bad skin. You know what I didn't do? Choose to become a fascist, because I recognize most of the sort that look like me are the problem. I may be hideously ugly and
Jesus
pathetic,
Christ.
but at least I'm not a fascist. Thank you for your input, buddy. You're, really helping the situation. The reason young men flock to alt-right MRA movements is because the left gives brain-dead advice to young men. We need to be more compassionate to them, for our own sake. I'm sorry, but how is respect women brain-dead advice? What advice? Don't rape? Don't
I
be
think
a
we still meet
rapist
people
is
at work,
bad
etc. But I
advice.
think they just don't convert into dating type relationships anywhere near as much. Also, it's a two-way street, isn't it? If women and men aren't looking in regular places for those relationships, you don't get any.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what is the percentage of the population that's even on dating apps? Or like, I just, I feel like we just spend. I'm trying to think. It feels like such an alien world being 34 because like when I was a kid, if you wanted to like go hang out, you had to like go out and do things and see people. Like you had to go to like parties and stuff. Like I'm curious, like do Zoomers still have parties? And then you'd be at parties, you'd be at people's houses, you'd meet people. Like that would just like always happen. That's just what was happening.
Here's my actual advice I would give to my teen boys as a leftist. 1. Always get enthusiastic consent. 2. Save the planet. 3. Don't say that. It's actually kind of racist. Like, what the f*** is this? How does this address men and their issues?
What?
It doesn't. Why does their advice always seem to be, become a liberal? Hey men, here's how to fix all your problems. Agree with me politically. Men flock to the MRA movement because they're the largest beneficiaries of MRA shit. Imagine saying women flock to women's rights activism because they're the biggest beneficiaries of women's rights. Like, no f***ing shit. Let's be honest. Aside from procreation purposes, men have become obsolete.
Jesus.
Most women can find other methods of achieving orgasm without a man there. And speaking as a man, most of us are horrid to be around, and I don't blame any woman for just saying, no thanks. Oh my
Kinda
god, dude,
true.
this is what every Just Pearly Things tweet looks like to me. Just with the genders swapped. This is pathetic. The right is saying to men, you will own a house. You will have beautiful children with your loving wife. You will have privacy. You will have free speech. You will own things, and you will be happy. And the left is like,
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
but don't get me wrong, Republicans will not do shit. The Republican Party will not do shit. The establishment in general will not do shit to help any of this. But the right is, at least rhetorically, offering men something other than nothing or the eternal HR department. Every time this Discord comes up, there's people like, we need a leftist Andrew Tate. We need masculine role models on the left. But the fact is, it's hard for progressives to organically appeal to men because a large part of progressivism is oppressive hierarchies, and
True.
men are oppressors. Making progressivism look appealing to young men is an uphill battle from the start. And although it's funny to laugh at insane people on Twitter, as always, there have been a lot of left-wing content creators talking about men's issues. If you would have told me this would be a thing 9 years ago, I I would not believe you because anyone talking about men's issues back in the day was called an MRA or a pick-me. But lately I have seen a lot of good pro-men lefty content, and I'll put some links to some below. I don't agree with all the points.
Apparently I used to be here and she removed me. I don't know why.
Let's take a break from.
Hello, everyone.
Broadly speaking,
He continues.
Let's talk about some.
Oh, she put Shark Zero here, even though he was one of the tweets she used as a soy tweet.
Points they say, but I recommend watching. It's much better than...
they like having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
Anyway, misandry is real. Oh good, finally! And while it doesn't systemically affect cis men, it most certainly affects trans men. Oh. Y'all talking about misandry doesn't harm men, and trans men are right there reading this shit, by the way. I see, now we only care about misandry because it affects trans men. Everyone
True.
stop! It's affecting a group I care about now. I love how the rhetoric just like evolved overnight from male tears to cis male tears. And I just have to ask, why aren't you including trans men in your misandry,
Nobody told me how lonely.
I don't know if I believe these videos. I feel like these are bait. I don't think I believe them. I don't think I believe them. That like a trans person becomes like a male or a woman, an AFAB suddenly becomes a male, and now they're like, oh my god, like I feel like it's rage baiting. I just don't feel like it's true. I'm sure there is like a difference in how men and women are treated in society, ease of making friends, all that. I believe all of that. I just don't believe these videos.
Being a man is, we knew what depth felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to like have people want to hug us and to have people want to talk to us and to have a community. And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are so much harder to build. What's hard is
Like, how often as a guy do people cross the street to get away from you? Now, maybe if it was a trans man, okay. Maybe I believe him then. But look at this guy. This looks like the kind of guy that would help a grandma into her car, like after church, okay? Or would help a lady cross the street. You're telling me people are running across the street in fear from you? Get the fuck out of here. No shot. I don't believe this. I don't believe it.
none of this invalidates how real and raw women and people who are in marginalized groups feel about cis white men. All of that's valid. But I also now understand why the suicide rate is so much higher in men.
Welcome to being a man. Here's your complimentary isolation and yellow pillow. The fact is, you did not care about them for years. And even now you just want to recruit them, not help them. And that's why you will fail. And hey, maybe I'll be the Andrew Tate of the left. Men, listen up. Wash your penis. So I guess I'll leave you guys with a question. Why do you think male loneliness has been increasing? What are your solutions for this problem? And are you dealing with loneliness? And I will see you guys next time with a new video. Bye!
Wow. Why do you think? I feel like that whole atomization word. I think we're just pretty. We're pretty atomized as a society. I think it's that one. I think the internet's done a lot of things to us. It's probably not too good. How do you fix it though? I have no idea.